Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee in Middle Earth. Got a little free time today, and I wanted to do another video for you guys on one of my interpretations of one of the things that takes place in the Lord of the Rings books. I am going to read a little excerpt out of this and explain to you guys what I'm talking about. Now, I'm going to give you a fair warning here. This is going to have spoilers in it. So if you've never read the Lord of the Rings book or you've never seen the movies, I might spoil it for you. But I think if you're watching a Lord of the Rings YouTube channel, you probably already know what happens in the end. And what this is my interpretation of what actually happens to Frodo when he goes to the Undying Lands. Because, of course, he is still mortal. And the book pretty much ends the same way that the movie ends. Frodo sails into the West with the other ring bearers. But it's never really said what happens to Frodo when he gets to the Undying Lands. And there's a small little paragraph at the beginning of the book that elaborates on that, and I feel that what that paragraph is what actually does happen to Frodo in the end. And it's because he was stabbed by the Witch King on Weathertop. And I'm going to read this little bit of the conversation here out of the many meetings chapter in the Lord of the Rings here. Now, Frodo was stabbed on Weathertop, and they had to get him out of there, and they finally did get him and the ring to Rivendell. And then he was actually healed by Elrond, and this is what the paragraph is that talks about his wound. The elves brought you from the ford on the night of the 20th, and that is where you lost count. We have been terribly anxious, and Sam has hardly left your side day or night, except to run messages. Elrond is a master of healing, but the weapons of our enemy are deadly. To tell you the truth, I had very little hope, for I suspected that there was some fragment of the blade still in the closed wound. But it could not be found until last night. Then Elrond removed a splinter that was deeply buried, and it was working its way inward. Frodo shuddered. He remembered the cruel knife with a notched blade that had vanished in Strider's hands. "Don't be alarmed," said Gandalf. "It is gone now. It has been melted, and it seems that hobbits fade very reluctantly. I have known strong warriors of the big people who would have quickly been overcome by that splinter which you bore for 17 days. So when the Witch King stabbed Frodo on Weathertop, a small piece of the blade broke off and stayed in him, and because it was enchanted with dark magic, he was slowly but surely fading to become a wraith." And this is a little bit later in the same chapter where Gandalf is basically talking to himself about what he thinks is going to happen to Frodo in the very end. Gandalf moved his chair to the bedside and took a good look at Frodo. The color had come back to his face. His eyes were clear, fully awake and aware. He was smiling, and there seemed to be little wrong with him. But to the wizard's eye, there was a faint change, just a hint, as it were, of transparency about him, especially about the left hand that lay outside the coverlet. "Still, that must be expected," Gandalf said to himself. "He is not half through yet, and to what he will come in the end, not even Elrond can foretell. Not to evil, I think. He may become like a glass filled with a clear light for eyes to see that can." And I believe that is actually what happened to Frodo when he went to the Undying Lands. I believe he became that clear light that that Gandalf is talking about in here, because he was mortal and he was wounded terribly, that he eventually did succumb to that wound. Even though he was healed for the time being, the damage had already been done, and in the Undying Lands, he became that clear light. And that has been my interpretation of what the eventual fate of Frodo was, and that's how I always took that when I read The Lord of the Rings. back in the day, and to this day I still believe that is what happened to him when he took the straight road and went to the Undying Lands. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee in Middle-earth. Hope you guys enjoyed that little interpretation there of what I feel happened to Frodo. But appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little entertainment out of this video, and got a little bit of entertainment out of me reading that to you guys. But anyway, you guys have a good one.